welcome to this week's reading, or this session of the reading. I've already meditated and I've got messages for all the signs, and your message, Capricorn, is seeds are beginning to sprout. So there could be some ideas maybe you've had and you're beginning to see some signs of some movement around that, or maybe some connections that you're making, or whatever ideas you might have had or manifestations you've been wanting to put out there is beginning to sort of start sprouting and showing up. So let's have a look to see what the cards have to say about that. So I've cleansed the cards, I've shuffled them, I've got some cards here on the table face down. I have no idea what they are, and I'm using the Voyager's Tarot this for these readings, and I'm also using the multi-dimensional Oracle as an extra card. Okay, so let's open up and see this. So this is for all Capricorn placements, including the North Node. If you're Capricorn North Node, maybe it's worth looking at. Okay, so let's open up. Wow, oh my goodness. I say this because I've done, you're the 10th, 11th sign now that I've recorded, so I've got one more to do. And this Lovers card has come up so many times, and I've shuffled them and I split the deck and all that, and I fan them out and I choose them randomly, so it is quite incredible. And in this case, the you've got it on the upright. Now the previous one, which was Sagittarius, actually got it on the inversion, so here you've got it on the upright. Wow. So this is the energy you're coming with. So like I said, I really feel like there's something that you're beginning to feel, something's budding. It could be a new love as well. Okay, it could be some kind of what do you call it, partnerships, business, work, creations. Okay, these are the kind of, this is, the Lovers is not only a Lovers card literally, it could also imply and often to do with any kind of sense of unification, to do with a project, yourself, another. All right, so this actually, for whoever's listening, this will have different connotations, and because it's not a personal reading, I'll have to read it very generally. I do feel in some way that there are some definite signs of some great possibility or some exciting new beginnings happening for you to do with this Lovers card. And I feel like you've kind of are releasing any sense of fragmentation that you've had towards your ideals as well. So you're becoming more clear, and there's more clarity in the kind of partnering that you want to do. I feel like in some way that you've possibly, even some of you might have met a significant other, that really mirrors the other, complementary, that, so there's that coming up for me as well. And I think some of you maybe been really wishing for a partnership for some time, and wanting to really sort of see and invoke that kind of sort of togetherness where you're both sort of standing, really clearly. I'm looking at the trees, suddenly my eyes have gone to the trees. They're both sort of on the same height, on the same level, and on the same, okay? And I feel like despite the fact that we've got this really strong concrete figure here, which could also signify a bit of sense of codependence and stuff, I feel with you, for you guys, this is much more about the sort of sense of individuation of a situation, and you actually be able to be standing on your own strength and beginning to reap the rewards of the effort, and having sort of almost even worked with your inner child, possibly for some of you, and maybe even some of you actually tapping into a childlike dream, not a childlike dream, but a dream maybe you've had since you were young, very young, okay, and really going back to that and really seeing that beginning to start flourishing. Okay, so let's look at the next card here. Okay, here we've got the card of balance, slightly imbalanced. Okay, so we've got it on the inversion. So I'll read it first this way and then I'll turn it up. So this card is making sure, okay, that whatever happens, that you're not being toppled over, you're becoming crystal clear. So hold that thought of what's important for you. Okay, it's for the card that's got you here, because that's really important. Okay, you have very this is a card of clarity, a card of strength, a card also of balance. It is really important that you don't get wavered by other people's comments, or perhaps even maybe in your mind wavering between maybe seeing these start fruitions of your ideals coming to light and then talking yourself out of it or backtracking. Really, really important that you don't diminish yourself in any way. okay, Capricorns, because this is something that you've actually been really wanting to do for some time and you've released. Some of you, I think you're coming out of maybe something that was a bit darker, or something maybe you're still transitioning into position. Maybe it's a new love and you're feeling unsettled about it as well, and you're beginning to doubt, and something is kind of, shaking your world a bit. But this is really a very much beautiful card. This is a card of justice. This is a card also in the Aleister Crowley, which it really reminds me more of the Aleister Crowley deck, because the Aleister Crowley's deck, the adjustment card there, it's standing on a blade of sword. Okay, so that's being really clear, really having that sort of absolute staunch clarity about keeping your balance and your wit and your decisions really intact. All right, so again, for you, so I'm getting a message just not to waver too much and feel that you're being swept by things that have no concern for you. I do feel like in some way as well, some of you guys are actually going to be able to get, you might be getting a message, some news about something that could rock your balance off a bit. But again, you do have the ability to actually really stand strong and actually claim the your stance with this as well. I've got the Five of Wands here, so this is interesting, and this is on the inverted. So I think in some ways, well, some of you are definitely moving away from an oppressed situation because it's come on the inversion, which is a good thing here. This Five of Wands often are about people who are arguing, people who are sneaking around, people who are taking your glory, people who are not supporting you, maybe it's trying to put you down and stuff, and maybe being in an oppressed situation that you could have found yourself in. Okay, and maybe this is why that maybe you've had your balance distorted. But interestingly enough, in both cases, because they've come out on the inversion as well, I feel like in some way, if you've been feeling unbalanced for occurrences to do with, this card here, this is now a time for you to be able to really turn things up. And with this card here at the beginning, it's really important, then maybe this card for me at the moment with the two other cards opened up as well, is telling me that this is absolutely imperative that you hold your sense of self together and you have a sense of self-love that is unbreakable and absolutely concrete in your stance. Okay, really important, because you don't allow, this figure is very strong, but this is also about a yin and yang, ourselves, our masculine and feminine self as well, where you can hold that. And if you've got any work to do on that, if you're fearing anything, or there's any concern around anything to do that is not fulfilling you or making you feel less than, you need to check in with your inner child as well, because often it's not the external circumstances that make us feel that way. It's often things from the past, sometimes even from the past life, but particularly from maybe our original upbringing as well. And this is why I like to do the chakras, because the chakras also correlate to certain formative years, years of where our woundings can also happen as well. Okay, I feel like in your case, this could be also something happen in the root chakra, or maybe the sacral chakra. We don't feel as strong, so it's really important that you can get rooted, and with your sacral chakra here as well. I will probably open another two cards here, or another card, but let's have a look here. This is a card of integrity, so I feel like some of you could also be make sure that you don't, like I said this earlier on, and I'm saying this again because this card of integrity also was in the inverted, so it's really important that you stay in your integrity. I feel like some of you, some people are trying to influence you, and it could be literal influences outside of you, but this is really important that you are not influenced by people, especially with the Five of Wands, or a family situation or a dynamic that maybe has you staying stuck in old patterns. Okay, this is really important that you feel your way to your truth, allow your natural innocence as a child would, and move towards what's right for you and not what other people say. Okay, so I'm going to leave the card reading here for now. I might just come back to that, but for now I just feel that's sufficient. So really, coming back to the seeds as well, don't let somebody mess your garden up. Sort of trust the seeds that you're planting, and don't let anybody talk you out of that. I'm losing my voice because I've been doing these recordings back to back. Okay, wow, and this is really nice. So your oracle card, is beautiful. This is the energy you want to be calling into. It's all the ones. So again, if you see the ones on the clock, on a phone number or anything randomly, this is a message to sort of say there are new beginnings. The seeds, the one is also the first number from the, numerological sequence. Okay, the card number 1 as well. The number 1 is also the Magician and the new beginnings. So this is a case of also trusting your seeds are going to grow. Okay, so again, do not let negative thoughts of other people really, this is very specific. I think it's really important that you don't allow any negativity external, otherwise, even in a bigger level outside of yourself, like, the stuff in the news make you feel bad about maybe what you want to do, where you want to go, any of that, and all people around you. Okay, really importantly, hold strong in yourself. Again, this also here is the word independence. So again, this, even with the Lover's card here, this is about you being united to yourself. All right, being really strong and holding a sense your own course. So independence is very important for some of you as well. If you need actually to sort of pull away from somebody so you can actually have a sense of strength and a sense of truth and integrity about you, maybe for you, some of you, this is what this reading is about as well. Okay, I do feel there's some new beginnings. For some of you as well, there could be a review in the relationship, and maybe you're talking about, your values, or maybe where you want to go with the relationship. And again, it's really important that you just stay true to your thoughts, your feelings, and let the partner also negotiate theirs. And it could be new beginnings happening there for you guys as well. Okay, but whatever seeds, if you've had anything that you wanted to sort of manifest, this is also a very promising card to sort of confirm that. In terms of new beginnings. At the bottom of the deck of the Oracle as well, we've got the 1, 2, 3 card here, and believe me, this whole deck is not all about numbers. Okay, it's really important. So in some way, you're also ready to go. So I think the sprouts, the few seedlings that you've already put, it's beginning to really show, and now it's time for you to move forward. If this is about a relationship possibly not satisfying you and stuff, maybe you've got to a point now that you're ready to leave. You can see that actually, that you're wanting something, the seeds that you want of fulfillment or nourishment or care is not there, and now it's time for you to actually really simplify, be in integrity, and actually move forward in your new beginnings yourself. So this reading can actually read in so many ways for you, Capricorn. I'm going to leave the card readings here. Let me just split the deck here. Yeah, this is, I've split the deck. So this is really important for me. I'm just going to give you a bonus card here. The card of compassion. So this is very important that you're true to yourself. This is the 3 of Wands. Ordinarily also is about a man on a cliff looking out into the horizons. He's got his back, the image of his back to us as the reader. Okay, but this is looking at perhaps what you have already cultivated, and maybe being compassionate, and maybe taking flight, onto new horizons here as well, and maybe you're moving from one situation to another. There is a sense of also love here for you, a sense of putting a limit up as well, possibly with somebody, I feel here in this card, what I'm getting, and to allow the truth of your transformation, that maybe on the things that you really know that needs to happen, because there is a greater place for you to move towards. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that, but whatever the situation is, be compassionate towards yourself. Okay, really that kind of bring that love and that warmth and that compassion. So I'm going to leave the sort of main card reading at this point, and now for a bonus card of the this time I'm doing the angel cards. They're either going to be a gift or a support card, depending on what the angel card wants to convey. So let's have a look. If anything wants to come out, stick into my fingers. This one, wow, okay, this is really nice. All right, so this is the faith. So faith card. Just have faith in whatever you've sown, the ideals that you have. If they're not being met, have faith that they will be met. If you look at this 2 figures, I always love this angel card because, when you're doing this sort of, I don't know what it's called. Is it the trapeze, or the, the swing, the trapeze swing? You have to have faith. You have to let go to be able to be caught. Okay, so this is also not only a big card, angel of trust, faith, but also trust. Okay, because you will find that whatever it is that you really want to be there for you, and sometimes you might have to let go of what it doesn't serve you anymore, and for you to be able to claim what is truly yours. Okay, so again, this could be a very specific message. So whatever it is, whatever you're waiting for, trust and have faith that it is coming. Okay, the seeds that you've sown, the effort you've put out, the phone calls you've made, the emails you've written, the ideas that you've had, the ideas that you started jotting down, anything, any conversations maybe you've started having with people, any situationship that you might have been involved in, okay, is going to work in your favor. But don't be afraid to let go maybe of certain things that no longer serve you, for you to be able to really embrace the new beginnings. All right, I think I'm going to leave it here. Let me have a look. Let me just see. I've got one here. Okay, I've pulled you a solar plexus pebble here. Okay, so I think this is also really important for you guys, and I'm really glad this one came out, because whatever changes you are making, you really have to hold on to your power. This is definitely the chakra of integrity. Okay, it's really, really important that you stay hardcore. And I don't mean hardcore as in hardcore, but true, absolutely not being wavered, okay, and keeping your balance, with your power, what you know is true for you, what your gut instincts are telling you as well. Very, very important, okay, because it's when we welch on this, this is a card, the weakness in the solar plexus for me is always about when we self-abandon, when we let other people have a voice over ours, or when we sort of listen to somebody else's decision over what we wanted to do, and that's when we feel it in the gut. So any gut issues, as far as I'm concerned as well, any physical gut issues is to do with some kind of disempowerment, okay? And I won't go into that now, but just pay attention to that as well. So if you're actually suffering from any kind of stomach ailment, somewhere along the way you're being disempowered, then that's how you can claim it. And the way to claim it is you can visualize your solar plexus, work with the solar plexus, read books on it, definitely do some chant sounds on it, okay? The sound of the solar plexus is awe, okay, and that will help to strengthen it. But most important, you can just really visualize that sunlight, that beam of light. Okay, just see that kind of light radiating out of your stomach into your stomach, cleansing it and really empowering yourself. Okay, there's one saying that once a reader actually told me, and I live by this all the time, and if anybody tries to disempower you, out they go. And that's just been the best thing that I ever was told. This is about over 10-15 years ago, but it's been a yardstick for me. So if I found that people have come into my life and they've tried to disempower me, undermine me, undercut me, whatever it is, I realize that they're not, and for me to claim my power, my solar plexus, I've had to own it and actually say no to it. So they either have got rid of them or I've put strong boundaries up. So really, for you guys, Capricorn, take care of your seedlings, take care of your garden, take care of your heart, yourself, and allow this chakra to really help you as well in the process of being independent and your new beginnings. Okay, this is all I've got for you, Capricorn. I hope you really enjoyed the reading, and I hope you've got something from it. And I would appreciate any comments to let me know if any of this resonated or not. Doesn't really matter. I hope you've got something to take away from this reading as well. I will leave you with lots of love, lots of blessings until the next time. Bye for now. Bye.